Hey, Buff Nation, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson here. Coming up this week in the Buffalo Stampede, we're recapping a football loss for the Buffaloes at Washington State with former coach Gary Barnett, former quarterback Bobby Passamento. How about the CU women's basketball team, unblemished, number 3 in the country, and heading to a holiday tournament? The CU men, meanwhile, split a pair of games, winning over Richmond, falling to Florida State down here in Daytona, Florida at the Sunshine Slam. We're also talking soccer after the NCAA tournament berth with Danny Sanchez, and we'll catch up with Hall of Fame football player Nate Solder. All this week in the Buffalo Stampede.
Takes a snap, drops pressure off the edge. He works out to his right, sets his feet, rifles it downfield, and a grab is made in the end zone. Travis Hunter, touchdown, touchdown Colorado. The magic between Shedeur Sanders and number 12 Travis Hunter pulls the Buffaloes within 14-6.
Not a great game for the Buffaloes, but you always expect greatness from Travis Hunter. Spectacular play between Shedeur and Travis, but boy, it was not Colorado's night here in Pullman, 56-14. Buffaloes fall to the Cougars. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Buffalo Stampede. Coach Gary Barnett, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. What do you want to say about that one? That thing got away early and was never a contest.
You know, and it felt that way from warm-ups all the way through, Mark. And just the first 15 minutes of that game. I mean, we had 4 sacks in the first quarter.
That's right. First 2
first
possessions.
15 minutes.
Yep.
And so when that started happening, we could feel it, and that it was just going the wrong way. And for a combination of reasons, you had a coach that's sick. You're missing 3 or 4 players that we didn't know weren't going to play. You know, they just didn't come ready to play at all. And unfortunately, that's, you know, we won 1 of the last 8 games after winning the first 3. And it's a downhill slide right now that's, you know, it's hard to overcome this in recruiting and everything else. And we still got another game left. So tough spot right now for Coach Sanders.
You know, the Buffaloes quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, got sacked 4 times those first 3 series, got dinged up, went out. Ryan Staub came in, came back in, got hurt again. This is what we feared, kind of the way things were going this season. Way too many sacks. He was the most sacked quarterback in America, and eventually happened what we feared.
We talked about it. We said if we lose our quarterback, we're going to have a problem. And then the whole sack thing just started building. So it's, you know, we're struggling in the offensive line, defensive lines, and, you know, there's no fixing it right now.
Yeah. No, it's not easy right now. This thing's kind of on the edge right now with 1 more game to go at Utah next week. So how do you approach this week then? What is down as things are right now?
Well, you're here. You got a job. Your kids, you know, they're your kids, your players. You brought them here as a coach, and you've got to show them how you handle this adversity. And you know, in football, you're faced with this all the time, in all sports. But you got a lot of adversity right now, and you have to be the leader and show your players how you handle this.
That's broadcast partner and former coach Gary Barnett. We're going to talk to Sideline reporter, former quarterback Bobby Passamento in a moment. Right now, let's hear Coach Prime after the loss in Pullman. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Very saddened of how we played. We practiced hard this past week. We prepared like no other. And to go display a performance like that is not indicative of who we are, what we are, how we are. And I've been boasting since the beginning of the season. I have not seen us quit. Have not seen us quit. Have not seen us turn it down, or not want to play, or not want to execute. There was some plays in the first half that I didn't see the passion that I wanted to see. But we came and got on them a little bit at halftime, and they went back out there and they fought. So I do applaud them for fighting in the second half and not giving up, because it's not who we are. And I'm still trying to figure out our identity, trying to figure out who we are in turbulent times. And I still don't know. After all these weeks, I still don't know.
There's Coach Prime after the Buffaloes fall 56-14 here in Pullman. We continue now with former quarterback and Sun reporter Bobby Passavento. Well, you were down in the middle of that deal. I mean, we were talking with Gary a moment ago. You could feel it from the very get-go. What was your view down there in the sideline?
It was tough from the start, right? I mean, they got out ahead. They got the momentum, and we just could never get it back. And when Shador just kept getting beat up. When you lose a guy who's kind of the heart and soul and your leader, it deflates the team, and you could just see it on the sideline.
Well, and this team, so you lose the guy that is the cornerstone of the offense, the guy that controls everything, throws the football. We talked about all season long, Bobby. This team can't run the ball, and so now you lose the trigger. What are you going to do out there, right?
Well, I mean, it puts you in a really tough place because you got a guy who's inexperienced that, isn't going to be able to throw it all over the yard like he can. So, and when you can't run the ball as a coordinator, as a play caller, it just puts you in a position that you don't ever want to be in because you probably can't find a way to dial up the right play.
Mm-hmm. That 3-0 start and all the hype we had around this program seems like a lifetime ago. Now you've got one more week left of this. You've got to get through this, and then, of course, you look to fix this to the recruiting trail. But right now, boy, this is a tough situation.
It's very tough because you got to go on the road again against a really physical football team, and that's the hard part because Utah they're just gonna beat you up no matter who you play against. I mean, who they play against. They're physical, they're tough. So this is going to be a tough rebound to get guys healthy and to go back on the road and play a team like that.
And then you wonder, by the way, we're getting banged up this week. If we see him next week, I mean, we don't know. We haven't been told exactly what the issue was. Some sort of lower extremity type deal. Or is it even smart to put him back out there next week?
Yeah, my initial reaction is maybe just let him rest and not get beat up anymore and keep him healthy because he has taken a lot of hits and not just the amount of sacks, but think about how many hits he's taken when he's gotten the ball out of his hand. So it's been a long year for him physically, so it might be better off just giving him a break.
Yeah, at this point, he's been sacked over 50 times this season. You don't question his toughness. He's been a warrior all year long. That's former quarterback Bobby Passavento. Buffaloes fall 56-14 here in Pullman. Coming up next, we're talking basketball. Tad Boyle, the 25th rated Buffaloes down in Florida.
Foreman trying to knock down a three, count it, and there's going to be a foul on Perry as well, trying to go through that screen, looking for somewhere to go. Sherrod just has to hoist herself, and she buries it. A 7-0 run over the final minute.
There's your Colorado women's basketball team taking down the SMU Mustangs down in the Lone Star State last weekend, 84-69. The Buffs were ranked number 5 at the time and have since risen to number 3 in the national polls, improving to 4-0 on the campaign. All 4 wins have been by double digits this season. What a year for J.R. Payne and the Buffaloes. Junior center Aaronette Vonleh led the Buffs with 23 points, hitting 10 of 15 for the field. Quay Miller recorded her second consecutive double-double, finishing up with 18 points and 10 rebounds. And Jalen Sherrod has been so good for the Buffaloes. Ended her night with 18 points and 4 assists, becoming just the 4th player in CU history to have over 1,000 career points and 500 assists. The Buffaloes never trailed in the second half, limited SMU to just 8 field goals in the final 20 minutes. Colorado kept its streak of 20 or more assists alive on Saturday, handing out 21 on 31 field goals. Team jetting off now to the Paradise Jam to play Cincinnati, Kentucky, and number 14 NC State in back-to-back contests, starting with the Bearcats on Thursday. Hi, everybody. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, back here in the Buffalo Stampede in Daytona, Florida, where the men were taking part in the Sunshine Slam. In the semifinals, they open up against the Spiders of Richmond, and it was a competitive basketball game. Buffaloes eventually winning by 5, making some big plays down the stretch. The guard, K.J. Simpson, had 23 points. He's been over 20 points now 3 of the 4 games to start the season, and he led the Buffaloes to the victory over the Spiders. And afterward, we heard from head coach Tad Boyle.
We needed that. Told our guys that we needed to face a little bit of adversity, and I told them before the game that there's good players in college basketball. There's good teams that you never heard of. There's good coaches. I mean, Chris Mooney's, there's a reason he's been there 18 years. He's a hell of a basketball coach. They had a good game plan, and so we had to fight through some things. But I thought our guys showed a lot of grit, a lot of toughness on a night where, again, we weren't as good offensively as we've been. Now I think Richmond had a lot to do with that, but our guys kept grinding and I'm really proud of them. We got, the free throw line was the key for us. I mean, getting to the free throw line and getting the bonus early in that second half. They were very physical with us, cutting away from the ball. In the first half, we weren't cutting very much. In the second half, we started cutting, and they started kind of chucking us and holding us, and the whistles came, and that was the difference.
A little bit better feeling here than we had last year down in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, no doubt, Mark. And this team's got grit, and this team's got toughness. Eddie Lampkin, the job he did on the Quinn kid, who's a really good player, averaging I think he had 20 last time out. Yep. Eddie held him to single digits, and we challenged him before the game, and he took on that challenge. So, really proud of him too.
That's the head coach after the Buffalo's 64-59 win in the semifinals, the Sunshine Slam over the Spiders of Richmond. Then on Tuesday in the title game, it was a rematch of an NCAA tournament game from 2021, the Buffaloes and Florida State. A little different outcome on this one. Still a very physical basketball game, but Colorado turned the ball over way too much. 20 turnovers in the game, despite out-rebounding the Seminoles by 9 and having 19 offensive rebounds. Buffs could not get over the hump and end up falling in overtime to the Seminoles. And afterward, head coach Tad Boyle.
Oh, boy, Mark, did we give one away? Yeah, we were not very good. I mean, for whatever reason, we knew Florida State was going to pressure their length, Yeah, we handled it at times really, really well. But when you have 20 turnovers against anybody, it's going to be hard to win. But what's amazing about the 20 turnovers is 17 of them were on steals from Florida State. Florida State had 17 steals. I'm not sure I've ever seen that. It's one thing if you throw it out of bounds or you travel. Those are dead ball turnovers. We had 17 live ball turnovers in a 6-point game. I mean, that's the ball game, and I've got to do a better job. I didn't have our team as prepared to handle their switching, and we've worked on it. We talked about that in the pregame, right? Like, you work on stuff, but we can't simulate Florida State's length and their activity on the ball, and we weren't good enough.
There's head coach Tad Boyles after the Buffaloes fall for the first time in the college basketball season. They lose in overtime, 77-71 to Florida State in the title game of the Sunshine Slam. Cody Williams, the freshman for the Buffaloes, led the way with 17 points. KJ Simpson had 15 in the loss. Now the Buffs come back home to the Event Center on Sunday, taking on the Gales of Iona. That's a noon ball game against Iona, again on Sunday afternoon at the Event Center. Coming up next here in the Buffalo Stampede as we wrap it up here in Daytona, we're going to talk soccer with head coach Danny Sanchez, coming off a great season for the soccer team.
A big at-large berth to hand out early. You can rest easy. Colorado, you are back in the tournament for the first time since 2020 with an at-large selection.
Well, the CU soccer team made the NCAA tournament. There's a selection show back at the Buffalo Stampede. Voice of Osmore Johnson, head coach Danny Sanchez, right here in the Hall of Fame hallway at the CU event center. Just had the inductions last week, and 2 soccer players. Yeah, we had Laura Munley, and Heidi Forget in the soccer group.
Yeah, Heidi is she never gave up a goal in goal. Okay. Now, she didn't play a ton, but all of her, but she's done her work after. She's a big-time executive with Nike, as we all know. Yeah. And Laura Munley was just a rock-solid 4-year starter for Bill Hempen. She actually played for me one summer in a summer league when I was coaching in Metro State. Right. And like Bill said, I didn't say anything to her. She just kind of told me what was going to happen. But a first-class player in person, and obviously she got it. Her sister, Fran, got it a couple years ago. The first sisters, I believe. That's right. To get in the Hall of Fame. So it was a great honor for her. Unfortunately, we missed it because we were in Texas, but it was a great honor for her.
Yeah, not the first siblings. The Brock brothers got into the Hall of Fame, the first set of sisters. That's right. All right, NCAA tournament. Very happy about the way the season progressed, what it turned out to. Now, we can talk about the game in a moment, but overall, season-wise.
Great season. 4th place in the Pac-12. We know how tough that is. And great results and exciting results all the way up to the last game with Utah to get in. We knew we were on the bubble, but we felt good about it going into it, sort of our body of work, but really rewarded the team because it was a great team, great leadership, some really fantastic freshmen that came in, some upperclassmen. It couldn't have been more enjoyable until about 7, 8 o'clock on Friday night, but up until then, it was a great season.
That match with Utah, that was a gutsy win by your team, wasn't it?
Down 2-0 on the road in a Pac-12 game. I guess the team has nothing to play for, which is almost more dangerous. Right. We get Lawson Willis gets the goal, Shira gets the second one, and then it was about 30 minutes. We waited till almost the death, the 89th minute, and Allie Clark to Shira for the winner. It could have been more exciting. We had to get that result, Mark, and we got it.
Shira James, I mean, the way her career has turned out, being the phenomenal scorer she is she one of the great scorers you ever coached?
Yeah, from a pure finishing side of things, no doubt about it. I think she has still some things to work on, but you're judged on putting the ball in the net. Yeah. She does that.
Yeah, she does it at a very, very high level here at the University of Colorado. By the way, we're talking soccer, but volleyball just wrapped up its home slate, and it's time to hear from Jesse Mahoney.
Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud.
Exciting to get a win. There's not a lot of sweeps to be had on the table to win in 3. I was excited about that. Offensively, we hit 300 in each set. And we warmed up defensively as the match went on. I think in that 3rd set, we were pretty dialed in. It's great to have kind of what our lineup has been pre-Lexi's injury kind of back, and to see Lexi back and hitting for 500, I think. You want to win at home, obviously. You want to win on senior day, obviously. And it was exciting to see all of our seniors contribute today. Great match, and our back's still against the wall. We're still fighting to get on the NCAA bubble. We got to get 2 wins this week, and that'll be, after we congratulate ourselves, that'll be our focus next couple days. It's great to win. Winning's fun, right? But I was really mostly excited about how we played, and the fact that we got better through the match was really important to me. And I know what we have to do in our next 2 matches, and I know that if we play at that level with that focus, we're going to be really competitive.
There's Jesse Mahoney, volleyball coach for the University of Colorado, talking soccer now with Danny Sanchez, wrapping up this segment. All right, take us to the NCAA tournament match down at Texas A&M. 1-0 the final. Take us to the match.
Well, it was a great match, Mark. People will talk about the goal, which I've been coaching a long time. I've never seen anything like it where we try to clear, deflects off, goes in. But we still had 60 minutes to get the equalizer. Yeah. Didn't happen, but great atmosphere, a storied program there at Texas A&M, and a very evenly matched. It's kind of like men's basketball. It's like an 8-9 matchup, so it's kind of one that can go either way, and that's what it was. We didn't have enough to get over, but the effort, the focus, the determination, everything you want out of a Buff, it was there. Unfortunately, we just didn't have that final piece, but it doesn't take away from the season. It's hard. Yes. Less than 10% of Division I teams get at-large bids, so it's difficult to get in. So to get in, we competed and gave ourselves a chance.
So the way the season unfolds, what's your postscript? I imagine as a coach, you look back on a team, you say what about this year's squad?
We talked about before the season, we got to be good in goal, and we got to be better defensively. We give less than a goal a game. Jordy's a world-class goalkeeper, so we were great there. And then we had some freshmen that came in that really melded in with the group, the Labus twins, Ava Priest, and some other players. So they really bonded early because there was 14 new players out of our 28. Yeah. So they bonded quickly in preseason, and they hit the ground running, and we couldn't be more excited about the future of the program.
Last, you just mentioned freshmen. You just had a recruiting class as well.
Yeah, it's a small class. We had Jace Holly out of Fort Collins. The Buff fans are going to love her. Hannah Puff, another SoCal kid, back. We have a couple grad transfers that we haven't announced yet, but they'll be coming in. This is the last year of the COVID year, so I think there'll be a couple more grad transfers, but we're excited about the group coming in.
Awesome. Congratulations on a great season.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
All right, Danny Sanchez, CU Soccer, making the NCAA tournament this year.
Coming up next, we're going to look back at the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies and chat with a Buffs great football player, Nate Solder.
Really appreciate everybody being here and seeing so many former student athletes here. It says a lot about your desire to come back, and it's with great pride and excitement that I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the outstanding individuals who have been inducted in CU's Hall of Fame. This prestigious honor is a testament to your unwavering dedication, exceptional achievements, and lasting impact on our institution. In this year's class, we have a great list of individuals from a variety of sports. We have 3 big-time football players, Andre Giroud, Bill Harris, and Nate Solder. Yeah, let's go! Emma Cobert and Carol Damon from cross-country, track and field. Robert Dole from men's basketball. Brittany Spears from women's basketball. Clark Mattis from ski. Laura Munley from soccer. We also have 2 Hall of Honor inductees and 2 great Buffs, Heidi Burgett from women's soccer and Kate Fagan from women's basketball. We also have our chancellor here, who's an incredible dear friend of mine. He brought me here. He and his wife Yvonne and Sharon and John Parker going into our legacy wing of the Hall of Fame. This is the time for Colorado athletics to really focus on making this university, this department, great for the long term.
Well, 13 new inductees in the CU Athletic Hall of Fame, the Hall of Honor, the Hall of Legacy. Rick George, there were some opening comments welcoming all the new honorees back into Stampede. Voice of the bus, Mark Johnson. I think you remember this guy. Back in the early to mid-2000s, Nate Solder, offensive tackle All-American for the Buffaloes. That's got to be kind of a handy thing, right? Getting that call, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame at CU?
Oh, unbelievable. I was totally shocked. What an honor.
Yeah.
What an honor, yeah. The athletic director, Rick George, I've been seeing him on TV. I get the phone call, calling me, okay. Absolutely, and I wanted to bring my family and everyone to see and be part of this.
You know, Nate, you're such an interesting story. You come from Buena Vista. I remember Gary Barnett first recruiting you. And he told me about this young man, kind of a tall, skinny kid from Buena Vista. I said, well, what is he? He goes, I don't know. He's a tight end. I guess maybe he's going to be an offensive lineman. I don't know. Go back to that time and what you were thinking at that
I
point.
know, it's hilarious because I was 230 pounds, played tight end, defensive end. I actually played middle linebacker, too. Like, what is this guy going to be? Do you want me to be defensive end? He's like, sure.
Right.
You need to be tight end? Sure. You need to be tight end? Sure. I don't think anyone knew, so it worked out, man. It was a lot of hard work and everything and great coaches and everything, but I'm so thankful.
Yeah. Well, coming here, I know that you had told me before that if you wouldn't have gotten an offer like this, was college basketball what you were going to try?
It was close. I was so close to going to Dartmouth to play basketball because academics was so important to me. Actually, the biggest factor was my parents couldn't afford it. So I never played football at a great place, so I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. Well, what's some of your great memories here at Colorado?
Oh, wow. We had some great wins.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I remember beating Oklahoma. I remember beating Georgia. I remember some of these really fun wins. But the best memories were some of those moments that no one sees. The training with the guys and the camaraderie and all that sort of hard work you put in behind the scenes that no one really actually sees.
Now you're going to test my memory here. Was the Oklahoma win? That was when they were number 3. We came from behind to beat them, and Kevin Eberhardt had the field goal, right?
That's it.
Is that the win?
That's the one, yeah. They had all the stars.
Yes.
Like Adrian Peterson and all those boys. Yeah.
So phenomenal comeback for the Buffaloes at this point. You went on to the NFL, played so many years in the NFL. You never seem to kind of lose your Colorado connections, though, when you're playing, winning Super Bowls for the Patriots.
Yeah, it's a formational place. This is where I grew up. And it's actually being here for this last couple of days has brought back so many great memories. What a special place to be.
Have you gotten back often?
Not enough. Not enough. I bring these guys back once a year, and we do that camp up in Buena Vista, which has been really special for them to see where I'm from and get to know that a little bit. But at the university here, I want to come back more now.
Yeah. Is there, when you get to the NFL and you're a Colorado athlete, is there a little bit of a brotherhood there when you see guys on other teams?
Absolutely. You see guys on the other sideline or whatever. Hey, Buff, whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which has been fun. There's been some good players coming from.
Oh, without question. Tell folks what it's like when you come from, a place like you did, Buena Vista. You come here to play for Colorado, and then you end up getting to the pinnacle of pro football, winning 2 Super Bowl championships. That's going to be pretty heady stuff.
Oh, man. I don't deserve any of this. I really can't take any credit for it. I've had great coaches like Dante Skolnicki at New England.
Yeah.
He came and worked me out here at the University of Colorado. I fell in love with him. And so I had the opportunity. He coached me up for 7 years, and he really, I think, made the difference in my career.
What does it take? And this question, the obvious answer is you got to be 6'7", 6'8", 320 pounds. Well, what's the key to becoming a great offensive lineman? Beyond the size, obviously.
Well, I'll tell you, Scar kind of had a recipe, and he always said he's going to work the heck out of us.
Yeah.
And he's going to have tough guys that are smart enough to get it done. And I think that's the combination.
All right. These kids you got, any one of them going to be a football player at CU, or are they too smart to be football players?
I would love for them to play football. These are tough kids, and I got them in wrestling right now, which is fun for them.
Fantastic. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right. He's a Hall of Famer, Nate Solder, one of 13 inducted in the Hall of Fame at the University of Colorado. That'll do it this week for the Buffalo Stampede. I'm Voice of the Bus, Mark Johnson. We'll talk to you next time.